to show you a little bit of a before I start tearing things down and refocusing on trying to find more storage for the room that I have. My cupboards are full, everything is full, and the jars have got to get off the ground. Now this here, I bet you're wondering, well, how much food is this? This is enough food to feed a family of 2 for 3 years, a family of 5 for about, I'd say, a year maybe. I produce enough of food and can it to feed my whole family, which is 10 of us, and that would probably feed us for a couple months, maybe even longer, I'm not sure. But the reason why I have so much food is because I prepare food and I prep food for my whole family. Now my one daughter, she does have a big prepping area as well. Not as much as I do, but she does have some things. But I have to organize. So this is what we would call a major spring cleaning. And here's the before, and I'm going to show you as I work through it. All right, I spent a little over an hour and that corner is cleaned up. Now I'm cleaning all the buckets. I'm inspecting them in that corner and I'm label them a lot better. So I'm soon going to get that done, and when that's done, then I'll go on to step number 2. All right, everyone, we're on day 2 of the big pantry clean out. So this is just an awkward little area that I had, and I had buckets of rice stored in here. So on day 2, day 1, I spent 6 hours, and I feel like I really didn't get a whole lot accomplished, but I'll show you. So in that pantry, which we're going to go in a second, I'm going to show you what I've been working on. I got this old rinky-dink shelf, and I have all of my store-bought cans in here. And then I have some jams and jellies, and I have some other things stored in here. So I'm taking all of the store cans and putting them on this shelf. So in the pantry, then it's only going to be my home canned goods and some dried goods. All right, everyone, let's go in here and I'll show you day 2. All right, we're on day 2, and give me a second. I'll set up my camera and bring a little more lighting in here, and I'll show you what we're working on. So there's that corner. I showed you in day 1 that I cleaned it out, and all of my buckets are on this side. All of my buckets are on this side. And then I went through everything in that pantry, jelly cupboard. I went everything on this side, on the bottom. I have to do the top yet. And now you're going to still see a lot of jars on the floor because I'm waiting for some shelving units to come. And we're going to put some more shelves in here, and that is my bulk food. I went through everything and cleaned everything, but this is going to take me about 4 days. So day 2, I'll show you what I'm working on. Today is day 2, so I'm going to take some of this dried goods and put them in these half-gallon glass jars. And then we're going to work on my cupboards above me. I really am cleaning, I'm going through everything, and I have to admit something to all of you. So many times I've done videos in this pantry, and people said, Tessie, you got a lot of food. Well, I didn't realize how much food I had until I started cleaning it out. You're so right. I did not realize how much food I had until I started cleaning it out. And you know, there is a fine line between hoarding and being prepared. I don't see myself as a hoarder. I see myself as being prepared, but let me tell you something. I learned something through all of this, and I can understand where the fine line is between hoarding and being prepared, and I'll tell you why. Once you get to the point where you have so much stuff, it's so hard to organize. And when I started in here, I could barely even move around. And I can understand why hoarding can become a real serious issue. Now, with me, I got in here and I was like, what do I do now? Where do I start? It was extremely overwhelming to me. But through the hours of work, I realized that I'm getting somewhere, and then I was motivated. But I can understand hoarding. Hoarding, like gaining weight or all kinds of things that we go through, it doesn't happen overnight. And while I had a mess in here, I will admit I had a real mess in here. It didn't happen overnight. This was years of just storing food. But I realized you gotta have things organized or you will become a hoarder. And some people would say this is hoarding, but to me it's not, because I'm able to organize it now. But I could see in another year or 2 or 3, if I didn't put tabs on all of it and keep it all confined and organized, it could become that way. And another thing real quick that I really worked on is labeling everything. People said to me, well, how do you know what is what? And I have it all in my head and mindset, but to be honest, I didn't label things like I should. Please label everything. You have to label it, because in a year or 2 or 3 goes by and you don't remember the date of when you bought something. So you can rotate it. And now I am labeling everything, and now I'm able to know when I can rotate it and know what's what. I don't need to be getting any food. I don't need to be getting any food that would be long-term storage like this. I'm good, and I'm going to be eating out of it. In fact, we've really been eating out of it since last year when the virus hit. But I realized that I have to organize and clean things really good. Another thing is to keep things clean, and I talk about that so much in my videos, to keep things clean. But the more you have, the more it takes to keep it clean. And I'm using my homemade sanitizer spray that's with alcohol, and I'm just wiping everything down. I did see some areas there was a little bit of mold. I am really thankful that I didn't see any more mold, because this room is not heated, this room is dark, and this room always is closed. Now in the summertime I open the windows and have ventilation, but in the wintertime it's very cold and damp in here. And I do that because that is the perfect temperature to store food, but you can have mold. And I'm very thankful that I don't have it. In fact, I'm really thankful through all of this cleaning that I've been doing now. We're on like week 3 now. By the time you see this video, for me it's consecutive days, but by the time you see the video, it may be a week or 2 behind. I've not seen much mold, and I'm really thankful for that. You know, I'm just really thankful that I don't have mold. Wow, like I had mold in the past years, and I've done a video on that. And I think it's just, you know, keeping on top of things and really organizing and keeping airflow and not having so much stuff. I have really got rid of a lot of stuff. I've gotten rid of about 100 gallons of items each week. So it's 2 55-gallon bags, not 100% full, but it's stuff that I'm donating or stuff that actually you can't donate. So, all right, we're gonna work on this part. For me, I love glass. That would be my ultimate dream, is to have everything stored in glass. But glass is extremely expensive. And it's even more expensive now than what it used to be. So I had to get some plastic containers because it's so much cheaper. Now the Mylar bags are by far the best thing. The Mylar bags are these. This is by far the best. I just realized all of this when I'm cleaning through everything. The Mylar bags, when I've been cleaning through everything, these Mylar bags are the best. They do not become open or unsealed. I've had problems with my vacuum seal bags. They actually do not stay vacuum sealed, and some of them become unsealed altogether. To me, I'm not into vacuum sealing. When it's long term, Mylar bags are the way to go. It's so much heavier duty, and it's so much easier to work with. What I'm really doing is consolidating my area. If I have a bunch of containers that aren't totally full, it's to fill them up. Like, it's no point in having this jar almost empty. You know, fill it up. Fill everything up to the top. That to the side till I find another rice to open up. And then I even label when you even know what it is. I'm even labeling the rice. I'm labeling everything. I find things like beans stay fresher longer if you open up the bags and you actually put them in glass jars. All right, everyone, I'm gonna work on this for a little bit and try not to cause too much of a mess. I'm telling you, messy Tessie's in her pantry and trying to get everything cleaned up. And you are going to be extremely impressed when you see the end result, because I have in my mind exactly what I want it to look like, and it's happening, but not right away. It takes a lot of time. I thought I could do this in 2 days, and it's like, no, it's going to be more like 4 days. So I'm waiting on 2 items. I'm waiting on a pack of shelves, and I'm waiting on something else to put my long-term storage items in. And then I can put everything together and I show you the end result. All right, it's time to label some of our jars. I'm not putting some dates on some things. Some things I am, but things like noodles last a long time. I'm not dating that. But I am going to make sure I have everything listed and labeled what it is, because there's different kinds of beans, and sometimes you'll get the wrong jar. Sometimes you have different kinds of beans. I do label and I do date my rice. I am dating my rice. I'm just going to show you the cupboards, how they look now. I do gotta clean them really, really good. As you can see, they're just full. I'm really taking my time at all of this, so I do it right, but yeah. All right, everybody, I'll see you in a little while. And I'm not going to film this part because it's just too much work. But I'll show you when I'm done. All right, another 3 hours later, and I got the cupboards finished. Wiped them all down, went through every jar, wiped every jar, and trying to organize everything a little more. This was so much more work than I ever dreamed it would be. And I'll show you in a minute what I'm left with. So everything has its place. I know where everything is, and it is organized. This has proven to be so much more work than I have ever dreamed. And while you're young enough, keep your life organized. Don't wait until it's as bad as this, because those cupboards, I did not know what was in them. It was such a disorganized mess. And now I know what I have. And so the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up the floor, vacuum. I vacuum after every time I'm doing this. But what I'm doing is I'm going through all of these soaps. So I'm going to go through these soaps and put them in this basket and organizing them and putting them where I can see them. So I'm just dusting them off if there's any dust on them. Finding all kinds of stuff. It's kind of fun when you got to this point of it, when you can actually like go through all of your stuff and find it. That part's fun. So there's my soaps. And I'm gonna probably throw this away. I don't know, probably wash it. I don't know yet. I am throwing a lot of stuff away, stuff that I cannot use. But I'm trying to be, real careful not to throw things that I'm gonna need someday. So there are my soaps. Now I'm gonna show you in just a moment, when I clean everything up, the end of part 2. All right, we got this part done. So this whole part is finished. I think you can see some differences. I hope so anyhow. And the floor is picked up. All of that is going to be our next video. I'm waiting for something to come in the mail. And then I'm going to go ahead and pack them up. I ordered a few things from Amazon just to help me organize a little better. And I think it's good. We're going to call it day 2. And I'm going to take a little bit of a break. It is a lot of work. I just never dreamed it would be this way. I guess I did have a lot more stuff than I thought I did. So till we meet again, this is goodbye in my hoarding mess on day 2. Keep watching for day 3. Just a quick reminder, if you want to see all of my videos, you have to click that notification bell.